Greetings, brothers and sisters. One of my viewers from Instagram had sent me this. Nation's fate now in the hands of 8 dummies and Clarence Thomas. This is some right-wing Christian publication. But the dummy of the year, the dummy has already started to spread. So I'm in the editing process. And I ended up seeing an article from the New York Post. And then I saw there was 2 of Alec Baldwin's rants on Instagram. And I was trying to get away from covering them. And I talk about that a little in the video ahead, right? Because I already know how it works out. But it's 2 wonderful stories. It involves a Miracle Splenda Packet. No, I S you not. It does. And Alec Baldwin is clearly is a front runner, him and his wife, for Dummy of the Year the Dummy. Like he's getting off to a bang in 2022. I can't overhype or sell this video enough. At least how joyful it was for me to listen to these rants. So that's coming. I just want to give you a little heads up and foreshadowing. All right, let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. As we can see, one of my viewers sent me a compilation of the comedian Red Fox, who used to be on this show called Sanford and Son back in the 70s when I grew up. One of my favorite shows. And he had a son named Lamont. He played this character named Fred Sanford, and he owned a junkyard. And he had a son, I think his son was educated, named Lamont. And on an episode basis, he'd call his son a dummy, his friend's son's dummy, big dummy, which as a kid I enjoyed a lot. And I got a chuckle out of watching it again. And I had gotten a meme of this before. I don't know if you guys remember, maybe about 2 years ago. I used one of these clips as a meme, but I lost it somehow. So somebody sent me this compilation, and I made my own compilation of him saying the word dummy, and then I have a couple of clips also. So 3 memes, 3 memes for the price of 1. Let me show those here.
Get lost, dummy. You big cold-blooded dummy, 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 dummy.
Then I believe one of my other viewers sent me this.
And a mother has been charged with endangering a child after police say she put her 13-year-old son in the trunk of her car. This mother told police he tested positive for COVID and she wanted to make sure nobody else was exposed. Our Pooja Lodi live with.
So the mother of the year, her son tested positive for COVID, and she was driving to get him retested, and she didn't want to get exposed to COVID, so she put him in the trunk of the car. Come on, where's her Mother of the Year award and her Dummy award? Because she qualifies for both. So this has happened a number of times where I start covering a certain subject and I get tired of it, right? Like I want to move on, but I get more comments from people and people send me more links, or there's some breaking news in the story and they just keep pulling me back in, right? And this is happening with this Alec Baldwin thing as well. Like people think I just choose to make videos of whatever I want. And, it's not like that at all, because there is the divine connection. There is, the way that there is some sort of flow with God in my soul. And I receive orders on that level. Then there's the demands of YouTube and community guidelines and whatever restrictions there are there, and I have to cover things people are interested in, right? And then there's whatever happens in the news. There's lots of factors in me making videos outside of my personal choice. But anyways, I saw this, and I already knew Alec did this, and he did this, so I was, holding off on covering these 2 little, rants that he have here. One here, he's got some. I'll show you that in a moment. And so this came in, and I knew I had to cover this, so I'm like, all right, it's Saturday. I might as well go full Baldwin here. Why experts say Alec Baldwin hasn't handed over his phone. Alec Baldwin, who has yet to turn over his cell phone to law enforcement, in connection with the law enforcement investigation into the fatal shooting on the set of the movie Rust. May be holding onto the device for a number of reasons, legal experts told the Post on Friday. There could be incriminating evidence on the phone. That could be the number one reason. If he deleted text messages or call records, then he would face the possibility of criminal contempt. That's two. Or there might be personal messages, for example, between him and his wife. It's not shocking that he wouldn't want them public. It's not shocking that he wouldn't want them in the public domain. You know, I don't think you needed a legal expert. I could have told you all those things. Or if he's, got some other stuff on his phone he doesn't want people to see, right? Which I'm sure is the case because he's kind of a depraved person. And so Alec isn't cooperating with the police. So returning to this theme of Year of the Dummy, Alec and Hilaria are the early frontrunners. They're like a dummy couple because they keep on posting things on Instagram and making news. The best thing that they could do is disappear. If there's no criminal charges against him, he can settle out of court with the husband of the woman that he shot, right? Like there's going to be some financial compensation. And he could just disappear for a year. They have money. Just disappear, but they need attention. He needs to be seen. He's such a ghoulish celebrity vampire that he can't help himself. Hilaria as well in her posing here on Alec's Instagram. And they just can't get off of social media because there's a simple recipe. You just disappear. You don't go on social media. You don't be seen out in public. You don't make a spectacle out of yourself. You don't go do interviews where you're basically doing a deposition for opposing attorneys, right? And so he just doesn't get it, right? He just can't stop himself, help himself, because he needs attention. And so let's go through these two little rants that he has. So this one's entitled, A 2022 Miracle. And as always, he starts off touching his face and collecting his thoughts and running his fingers through his hair. He's looking pretty rough. This eye is definitely a lot more closed than that eye. Big, giant, colossal cursor nose.
Went to my friend's house, my friend David's house this morning.
He went to his friend David's house.
He came out with his daughter, who's dear friends with my daughter.
You didn't shoot her, right? You didn't shoot her.
Carmen. And he had a very unusual countenance to him.
He had sort of a countenance today, an unusual one.
And he and his daughter proceeded to tell me a story.
They thought they're storytellers. Tell me you didn't shoot him, please. Tell me you didn't shoot him.
That their neighbor, who lives 2 doors down from them, went to a store, like a takeout food place, organic.
He needs to close his eyes and concentrate because it's a big time story here.
A crush out east here, and the woman who's their neighbor, she found this.
Splenda. They found Splenda. Amazing. I thought it was going to be, a bullet or some evidence or something.
I can't. She
found it.
Found the Splenda Packet. She found the Splenda Packet.
I guess there's a backstory to this Splenda packet that I'm not aware of.
You are 100% true. Thanks for the laughs, good sir. Cheers to a new year. Love you. It's the Splenda Packet.
He obviously has talked about this before. We're not privy to it. You can see he's shaded his one. He's got his one Illuminati eye here.
Does this mean 2022 is going to be a good year?
No, Alex. Yes, Alec is smoking the opium.
Wouldn't that be nice?
He's smoking hard on that opium.
Anyway, that is nothing short of a miracle. I'm going to find out his neighbor's name and I'm going to send her a gift.
How about a sweet and low packet?
I mean, can you believe something as silly as this has that much value? I'm putting it in pockets now where I'll never lose it again.
He lost it. When did he lose the Splenda packet? Where's the other? You gotta fill us in, Alec. We're left in the dark here.
But anyway, oh my God.
It's a miracle.
Oh my God. That's amazing. That's a miracle.
It's a miracle. Finding something you lost in your neighborhood is a miracle.
One other quick note. Any suggestion that I am not complying with requests or orders or demands or search warrants about my phone, that's bullshit. That's a lie.
It's just a lie. I'll swear on my Splenda packet.
This is a process where one state makes the request of another state. Someone from another state can't come to you and say, give me your phone, give me this, give me that. They can't do that. They've got to go through the state you live in. That is a process that takes time.
It's called extradition of Alec's cell phone. I hear that they also want your Splenda packet.
They have to specify what exactly they want. You can't just go through your phone and take, your photos or your love letters to your wife or what have you. I really don't know, but but of course we are 1,000% going to comply with all that.
He's going to comply.
Perfectly fine with that. And but as I always say, consider the source. The people that tell you.
Yes, consider the source. We've heard this before. Where have I heard that before? I know I've heard it, but I'm not absolutely sure where I heard it. Maybe I heard it here.
Consider the source.
Oh, she's a white girl? Yes, I am a white girl. I am a white girl.
So, for example, my wife's on the phone with her hairdresser or her friend. She's like, really? Okay, I can't wait to see you. That's going to be great. Fantastic. What time? 12 o'clock? My wife is from Spain. Mm-hmm. And she said, blah, blah, blah.
We have very few ingredients. We have tomatoes. We have, how do you say it? Cucumbers. We have red pepper. We have, of course...
It's not easy, and I think part of it is that I'm in shape before I have a baby, and then I stay active when I'm pregnant, and I'm not trying to stay thin, I'm just trying to keep my circulation going and stretching and keep my muscle tone up, and then we're having a baby. It was a surprise, a wonderful surprise.
And one time at band camp.
It was a surprise, a wonderful surprise.
And one time at band camp.
It was a surprise, a wonderful surprise.
Well, there was a scream I heard, which is the scream that's normally reserved if there's a spider in the house on Long Island. I'm not exaggerating.
So the first part of the book is philosophy on how to live very namaste. I have 3 little babies. I live kind of a crazy life between work and them and everything else. So it's just, how to stay calm and centered and deal with things that are coming at you. Then we can talk about food. Well, we're having a baby. How about that for a project?
Ay, ay, ay.
Cravings here, okay.
Sí.
Ay, ay, ay.
Sí.
Ay, ay, ay.
Sí.
Consider the source.
Oh, she's a white girl? Yes, I am a white girl. I am a white girl.
Sidney Poitier died.
He choked on a Splenda packet.
The cover of the Daily News and the cover of the Post has something else. Sidney Poitier, one of the icons of this business, one of the kings, movie royalty, dies, and on the cover of the Post they have other lies and bullshit and nonsense.
Exactly. Things about you and your cell phone that I just covered. I actually covered this story from the Post. He doesn't like the Post. Post doesn't like him. But they both love Splenda.
The best way, the only way we can honor the death of Helena Hutchins is to find out the truth.
Yeah, with the truth. The magical gun that fires without pulling the trigger. That truth.
That's what I'm working toward, insisting on, demanding, that the...
He's demanding. They wouldn't. Otherwise, if he wasn't demanding it,
they'd be trying to push lies. But since he's demanding the truth, they're getting the truth.
The organizations involved in this investigation do everything in their power to find out what really happened. That's all that matters.
You pointed your gun, you pulled the hammer back, and you fired the gun, and the bullet killed her. That's what happened, Alec. You were a producer on the movie. There was a live round in your gun, and you fired it into your cinematographer. That's what happened. You said it yourself.
The best way to honor the death of Helena Hutchins is to find out the truth.
You've already said that.
And any suggestion that we're not complying, myself and any lawyers I'm working with or what have you, is a lie.
You've already said that too.
That's a lie. We're gonna, as soon as we go through this process, then...
Why can't you just help yourself and just celebrate your return of your Splenda Packet? Somebody's got to tell me what this is about, because I'm not going to research. I'm sure he's got an earlier in-school post about his Splenda Packet. But why can't you just be happy with your Splenda Packet and shut your mouth? I mean, I'm glad you're not. And shut your mouth and disappear. But instead, you're just a dummy.
Get lost, dummy.
You come out here, you get triggered by the New York Post article about you. You show off your fancy Splenda Packet, and then you continue to repeat how you're cooperating with your cell phone.
By all means, we will comply. But but I have no worries about that. That's all going to work itself out, regardless of what they say in these.
Exactly. Like, you're not worried at all. That's why you made this in-school post.
Right-wing rag sheets and people who are all about hate.
Not you. You're all about Splenda.
But setting aside all the hate, setting aside all the January 6th of it all, there it is.
Splenda. Wow, it's amazing. Wow. Pink.
Okay, so before the Splenda Packet, and I'm not sure, maybe he mentions it here. I haven't watched these. I watched a little of this, and I watched like 10 seconds of that other one. They're always great. They're always entertaining. I mean, I've been covering this for years, long before we found out his wife was appropriating an ethnicity, and Alec was going to shoot a coworker. Long before those things, I was covering this back in the days when he was in his glory, ranting about Trump. He was still relevant, and the left wing and the CNN hadn't turned on him. I mean, these were his glory days. And you see, he's been into a little cat fight with his wife or something, because he's got some sort of a scratch up here. He's got like a black turtleneck and the window behind him. He's in his Hampton home, hiding out with the fam over the holidays. And this can only be good. Maybe he'll talk about the Splenda Packet. We don't know, right? Maybe it's from years ago. Like, I'm not going back and finding it. But, there's a story there. Okay, so hopefully this sheds some light on the Splenda Packet. If not, maybe someone can let me know what it's about. Don't do it until I've watched this video. Let's see if this does anything before I get a whole slew of comments talking about the Splenda Packet. This is the beginning. He has to collect his thoughts. He's got thoughts, and he's collecting them.
I was at a coffee shop here on Long Island and having lunch with a friend of mine, and
He was having lunch with a friend.
a young woman, like a senior in high school, or maybe she was in college, I couldn't really tell.
Some high school girl was there.
She walked by with a guy. She was with a guy her age, and she handed me a packet of Splenda.
Here it is. Yes. We're finding out about the packet of Splenda. Now, it's like a prequel, right? I went out of order. This is only from a couple of days earlier. And so it was like a week. Well, we know he loses the packet, but now we got to find out what else happened, Alec. What has happened with the Splenda packet?
And along the perimeter of the package, where there was a modest amount of space to write on, she wrote me a note on both sides of the package. And
it was an inspirational note, and it just made so much difference to him.
It was all, so many people care about you or something. I mean, it was like really very...
Oh, okay, so it was lies.
Very, very kind and very thoughtful and very... Just really so amazing that she...
It was the best Splenda packet in the world, and you lost it. You lost it, you fuck.
She handed me this Splenda packet.
This Splenda packet he got.
And I was like, oh, thank you. And she left, and she was on her way out when she gave it to me. And I was sitting there, and I took it home, and I was going to photograph it. I was going to screenshot it.
But he didn't. He didn't do it. He didn't prove that he got it. Because it was the best Splenda packet in the world. This may be the dumbest person in the universe.
This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Why is he doing this? Him and his Splenda. Like he's keep on doing you, Alec.
On both sides. She wrote on both sides of the package. I was going to screenshot it, and then I lost it.
No way. I didn't see that coming.
I had it in one of my pockets. I'm so overwhelmed. I wonder if I put it somewhere to make it safe. And
in your coffee, perhaps.
I remember where. I searched for it yesterday. Like you would search for your keys or your phone or your wallet.
Except this was a packet of Miracle Splenda.
I was obsessed with finding this. I'm still obsessed with finding it because I want to screenshot it. I doubt a packet like that's going to last.
It won't last forever.
Very long, but if you are the young woman that gave me the Splenda packet at John Pappas,
then run for your life because he shoots people.
Then send me a message here because I'm very grateful to you. That was so lovely.
It's the Splenda girl, except you've made your Instagram page comment section exclusive. She doesn't have permission. The Splenda girl.
And that meant so much to me. It meant a lot to me.
It means a lot to all of us, Alec.
And then my sister Jane had a friend of hers, the guy's daughter. I'm going to find this for you. Hold on one second.
Your stories are so epic.
His daughter, her name is, we contacted her father, and he said it was cool to mention her on this post. Her name is Addison, and she wrote me a note, and my sister Jane sent it to me, and
he's getting support from all these young girls.
The note says,
please don't shoot.
Dear Mr. Baldwin, I am so sorry for what has happened and for what you are going through.
Exactly. You shot somebody, and it's just so hard on you. And your wife pretended to be an ethnicity that she wasn't. And you're just generally pompous and arrogant and kind of a douche. And I can't believe this is happening to you.
There are lots of people thinking of you and praying for you. We'll keep you and the other families involved in our thoughts and prayers. Sincerely, Addison D.
Addison D. She thinks everybody love Alec.
And here is her note. And
it's a bluebird of happiness. There's the bluebird down here. Here's her note. He wants to make sure that you know, since he lost the Splenda packet, that this note is real. So you know that everybody really loves him. And all those people who are leaving bad comments, all those people who are making videos about him, all those people who are relishing his collapse, they're the minority. The majority of people are like Addison and the Splenda girl and they just support the shit out of Alec.
There's the copy. And then she, at the bottom, there were kind of enlargements at the bottom, she wrote this bird.
She wrote this bird right here. It's a bluebird of happiness.
And,
wait, let's go back there. You can see. So you see, right here, you can see the white out. There's white out right here. It used to say Hilaria. And she whited it out and wrote Addison.
And, that's in my computer, so I'm going to save that forever.
Forever, ever.
Feel like this forever, 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 ever, forever, ever.
I mean, I've had more people who have been kind and thoughtful and generous of spirit than I've had, people who are malignant about.
They're just malignant. They do things like shoot people in the face and pretend to be ethnicities that they aren't, and fake.
Fake, 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 fake.
The death of Helena Hutchins, I'm not afraid to say that.
He's not afraid to say her name. He can say it. He's not afraid. Why would he be afraid?
And to couch that in some euphemism, somebody died very tragically, and I've gotten so much goodwill from people. It's just incredible. And
we can see the goodwill right here. There's the goodwill right here.
And a kind of alarming amount of the other stuff. But I'm not a New Year's resolution person.
He's not. He's a close your eyes and think person. A clear your throat person. A Splenda person. A shoot your coworker type of person. Marry a girl and think she's Spanish type of person. Bad acting type of person.
Rarely have the ability to change my behavior in terms of resolutions. Like, I'm going to give up smoking, I gave up smoking when I got married to my wife. I mean, she's pretty much of a health nut, and I never was much of a
Well, we know she's a nut. I don't know about health.
Smoker anyway, but I'd light up a couple usually when I was working, because I'm so nervous when I'm shooting to get the job.
He's so dumb. You're so dumb.
I'd light up a couple usually when I was working, because I'm so nervous when I'm shooting.
You big cold-blooded dummy.
He gets nervous when he's shooting.
To get the job done, and I'm always a little bit stressed out about that. So I would always smoke a couple cigarettes a day when I was shooting, or
He doubled down.
just stupid behavior.
Exactly. Shooting is stupid behavior.
I don't drink. I gave that up a long time ago. But New Year's resolutions like to don't use bad language, and
Don't call your daughter a pig.
food resolutions. I'm going to eat less of this, or give up dairy, or whatever. I try. I've tried, but now at my age, I'm like, I think I'm not doing too bad.
Other than shooting people that work with.
Except in one department, and the other things that I do or don't do, I resign myself to the fact that I'm still going to eat pizza and peanut M&Ms and things I shouldn't be eating, but I'm doing better. I'm doing better. But the one thing I do want to consider very carefully in this coming year, and to really, really push myself, is in terms of
Pausing, doing long pauses, reflecting on Splenda, making up imaginary friends and young women that are writing you letters of support?
Trying to not allow the negativity in my life to affect me.
Exactly, and you're doing a bang-up job at that.
To affect me. I've been having some very interesting phone calls with some very interesting people.
Can you tell us their names and how interesting they are and what interesting subjects you talk about?
Who I will not name, but some of them rather well-known people who...
They're famous. I'm not going to drop any names, but just say these are big-time, famous, and smart people that know their way around a Splenda Packet.
Or who deal in all kinds of behavioral, philosophical, religious, spiritual, meditation, all kinds.
Yeah, you know, I do a lot of meditation. And I've determined you're screwed.
Kinds of ways to attain a state of mind where you really short-circuit a lot of the negative in your life.
You short-circuit with meditation.
And that's what I want. This has been surely the worst situation I've ever been involved with. And I'm very hopeful that the people in charge with investigating this whole thing get to the truth as soon as possible.
What truth? What is it that they're not finding? What do you mean, the truth? You shot somebody at work, you know, on a film that you were a producer of, right? You were trained by your father at an early age how to handle firearms, and you still ended up shooting somebody accidentally, in air quotes. And now, you know, you're suffering the consequences.
One wants the truth more than I do. But aside from all that, I feel like we live in a world where, as someone said to me the other day, everything is good and bad. We make the world into good and bad because it's easy for us.
It's easy for him to make the world into good and bad.
I'm quoting somebody who I won't name their name yet till I get permission from him.
It's a him, a famous him. He's a doozy. He is a powerful celebrity.
But he said, I've never met a bad person. I met people who are, to varying degrees, traumatized and suffering. They're in pain.
He's in pain. Look at him. He's got his one eye here. His hand over his eye. He's in pain. Look at this poor, struggling man.
And they're passing that pain on to other people in some way. And I'm going to really focus on that on a daily basis now.
He's going to focus on it. This guy's going to change things in 2022. We already know he found that freaking Splenda Packet. Things are coming up. Baldwin, the year of the dummy. It is the year of the dummy. He should do well. He should do well in the year of the dummy.
I'm getting into some phone calls with people who really, because of the COVID, and some of them don't live in the same area that I do, so it's a phone conversation. And getting more and more dialed into how to not get the negative out of your life, perhaps because that might be impossible, but to get the negative, to deal with it better, to handle.
Yes, exactly. Deal with it. You got your Splenda Packet. You got your Bluebird of Happiness. You got your white Spanish wife from Boston. You got your 6 kids. You got the scratch on your nose. You got it all. You're going to handle it. 2022, it's your year.
Handle it better. To manage your feelings better, not let it destroy you or get the better of you. And because we live in a world where there's just oceans of negativity.
Oceans and oceans.
You know, online and so forth. And one must find a way to manage that. And
Yeah, seems like you're doing well.
And I want to stop seeing things in terms of good and bad, good and evil, and saying, oh, these people are bad. And get my life in a place where things are,
Remember when he just talked about how evil Trump was constantly, like almost every day. He went on a rant about Trump and the Republicans, but now that he is, under the gun, so to speak, he wants to put out this message of let's not look at people as good or bad, let's just look at them as, traumatized.
Easier. I got little kids and I want them to live a life of, a thoughtful life, a kind life. And it's New Year's Day, and I'm hopeful that this year will be better than last year.
It might be. It might be your year. It is the year of the dummy.
Be better than last year. I can't imagine it being as bad or worse than last year. Although I look at last year and my daughter Luthia was born.
Some good happened. One thing was your wife Valeria got outed because she was pretending to be Spanish. I think that happened 2 years ago. But last year you did shoot a coworker. That was a big deal.
In February. So last year was a great year in spite of the problems that we are facing. So
that problem, that little problem.
Again, thank you to everybody who offered me support online. To those people who offered me the opposite of support. I understand.
You understand. You're so understanding.
Understand.
He understands.
Where you're coming from. It's a tough world. And a lot of people are traumatized out there, and they want to pass that on to other people. They want other people to feel the way that they feel.
I'm happy. You've made me happy in 2021. You're making me happy in 2022 with Splenda. I'm spreading my happiness. You're spreading happiness and joy to people, Alec.
But my goal in the new year is peace, awareness.
Not to shoot anybody.
Consciousness. Deepening my relationships with the people that I love, pulling them closer to me, and improving relationships with people who I care about, but maybe I don't get to see much of them anymore,
Yeah, none of that stuff's going to happen, Alec. You know that, right?
I flew out to the West Coast to go visit my daughter Ireland a couple of weeks ago.
The one that's so panicked, she keeps a blood pressure reader with her at all time because she has a phobia that she's dying of a heart attack and her blood pressure is always racing.
And it was great. It was really, and getting on a plane during COVID was not my favorite thing. But I thought, I can't let that rule my life. And so I flew out there and had a great time with her and her boyfriend, who's like the greatest guy I've ever
He's the greatest guy ever. You never shoot somebody at work accidentally.
met in my life. And
you got nothing. You got absolutely nothing. Nothing.
that's negativity.
It's just so bad, the negativity. I mean, who thought if you shoot somebody at work and you're a famous person, that is, pissed a lot of people off over the years and went after a very popular president, that you would get some negativity back.
Is it possible? I think it is. Or less of it affecting you,
He's dying right here. Cheer up, Alec. Pretty soon you're going to find your Splenda Packet it's going to return to you like a boomerang.
Thank you to everybody who's been kind to me.
Exactly. This is like some sort of goodbye cruel world message.
Somebody wasn't kind to me. One of my kids, I think, smashed me with a toy or a stick.
Yeah, now you're telling us. Now you're coming up with a story. It was your wife, your hot-headed Spanish wife.
Or something. I don't remember now. They cut my nose. I don't even remember how.
He threw a Splenda Packet at you, or a bluebird of happiness flew into you.
I came in the house and I was like, whoa. But maybe they were
Is that kid still alive, by the way?
traumatized when they smashed me with the toy. I don't know. But Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Happy frickin' New Year. Happy New Year to you, Alec. Oftentimes I find it interesting the way these videos come together. So I saw somehow, I don't know if somebody sent it to me or whatever it was, I saw that Alec had posted this message on Instagram, and, you know, I like to keep them fresh. Like, I don't like to watch them before I make my jokes and my commentary. It's just better. Then I don't have to watch them 3 times, right? I don't have to watch them twice. And, you know, it's spontaneous, and, you know, my jokes are fresh, and, you know, when I'm finding them funny. Of course, if I watch it and think about it, I'll come up with maybe some jokes I might miss in the spontaneous moment. So there's benefits either way. But it's usually better just in terms of time if I watch like the first 10, 15 seconds and see if it's on a subject or, you know, the way he is or the way, you know, some other celebrity is on Instagram, that it's something I can make a video on, right? Especially something that's like 12 minutes long like this one. And then the article from the New York Post came up, and I'm like, I might as well cover them both. It's Saturday. You know, Saturday's a good day for me to make a video like this. And, you know, I've made another video that's about Alex Jones and Charles Barkley that's interesting on the other channel. So there's two kind of funny videos out there today on both my channels. And so the first time I heard about the Splenda Packet is when I saw a new video came up, and I thought I'd cover that one first. I didn't watch that at all, right? Like, I didn't even click on that until I saw it today. And so the way it was formulated, and there was this mysterious Splenda Packet that he revealed in the second video that he had made the other day. And I found out about it in the moment, and the year of the dummy and this stuff. And then him saying, you know, when he's working, you know, shooting, and he's just so clueless, right? Like, there's no remorse or guilt. I mean, you have to feel something. If you're holding a gun, and no matter whose fault it is, you know, if there's some kind of stage manager, prop manager, or armorer, whatever it is, right? He was holding a gun, and it went off. I mean, you're holding a gun that went off and killed somebody at work, right? And you're a celebrity, so it's a big deal. It's a big news story on top of it. You got to feel something. Like, you just have to. Like, you just, if you have any kind of internal process, a heart, I mean, you know, like he's talking about meditation and being philosophical. You have to feel some sort of guilt and shame or whatever it might be, like some responsibility would just be there if you were, you know, had any love and connection to God and any compassion or anything like that. Even if it wasn't your fault, you'd still feel, you know, you were holding the gun, dude. You were holding the freaking gun. He's like the opposite of heartfulness, right? Because if you did heartfulness, you would, like, it would come up when you meditated. You'd feel things, right? You'd feel, wow, that, you know, you'd see it over and over again. It'd be hard to, you know, have to clean that out. That's why there's the cleaning process, because it would leave an impression, right? That moment where the gun went off and then you see this woman dying, it's a very intense moment. You know, it's traumatic. And for him, when he did the interview saying he felt no guilt at all, right? Which is, you know, got to be a lie, or he's just, you know, completely dead inside. I mean, he is kind of ghoulish, and he is a long-time Hollywood person. But either way, he's just dumbing it up, right? You know, he should just be quiet, you know, shut up and disappear. But he can't do it. Like, he's so ghoulish. Him and his wife need attention so much, and so need social media validation like so many other people. He can't walk away. And he's just, I mean, whatever comes of this thing,
he's just clowning himself, right? And, you know, don't stop at my account, bro. Because that was wonderful. Only spirituality will save this world. It's Paul Romano, definitely reporting from the Apocalypse and the Ascension. Everyone have a blessed day and be grateful.